We've spent the last couple weeks trying out winter van life for the first time, and it has been full of highs.
Oh, it's so fun.
And lows.
It's so cold in the van this morning that you can see our breath.
And for our final week in Colorado, our goal is to go on a road trip to experience as many epic mountain views and fun winter activities as possible. Well,
pretty much nothing has gone as planned the last week and a half. So our big Colorado winter road trip is off to an interesting start. We're currently in Leadville, actually in someone's driveway, using this membership program called Boondockers Welcome, where you can stay on people's property. And last night they told us that it might snow. And when we went to let out Kona this morning, we were like, oh wow, yeah, it did snow quite a bit more than we thought it would. And our goal today is to get about 2.5 hours north to Steamboat Springs. But I'm looking at the traffic maps and the road conditions and the cameras, and it just doesn't look good. It looks very snowy and very, very icy. So I'm not totally sure how we're gonna get there.
So we're gonna sit here and enjoy our coffee while we figure out a game plan.
This is the road. Rough yesterday.
So we talked to our host and he said we should be good going north, so we're gonna attempt it, but if at any point we don't feel comfortable, we'll stop and turn around. Actually feels pretty normal driving. A little bumpy, as you can tell, but man's driving good. The roads don't feel sloshy or not sliding or anything, but we still are on the first road out of their driveway, so, but feels pretty normal.
So the main reason that we're nervous about the drive today is, well, one, we're from Texas, so we did not grow up driving in these conditions. We have driven in snow before in Finland, but we had the studded tires, which are so clutch, and we don't have all-wheel drive or 4x4. We do have all-weather tires and tire chains, which we practiced putting on in Texas before we hit the road.
We've had these chains for years, never even opened them up. I have no idea how these go on. This is what they look like.
I have never seen tire chains before.
Yeah, these are heavier duty than I thought they'd be. Growing up in Texas, you don't see this too often.
That looks like some sort of like lingerie.
Yeah.
It's like lingerie for your vehicle.
Flip the red lever down to tighten both the top and bottom tensioners. Your chains will begin to self-tighten. Oh, wow. That was aggressive.
Good go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, now we gotta do it like NASCAR pit style, like that.
And we really did not think that we would have to use them, but there's a very solid chance we're going to have to use them today.
It's funny to see the locals driving at least twice as fast as we are. They're just like, this is just another day here.
I'm sure everyone watching from Colorado or states that get a lot of snow are like, oh my gosh, you guys are such weenies. But this isn't just our vehicle, this is also our home. So we have to be extra cautious because if something happens to this van, we are vehicle-less and homeless.
But man, it's so cool to be driving in this. I never thought like we'd be driving in conditions like this, and we're doing it. We're moving.
We have successfully made it through phase 1 of our drive, and it honestly wasn't bad. It did start out a bit icy and snowy, but we always felt like we had pretty good traction, and we never slid. The most stressful part was the fact that we were going slow, and we had a line of cars forming behind us, and there just really weren't many spots for us to safely pull over. So it was just very stressful, feeling like we were pissing everyone off, but we didn't get any middle fingers, so that's good. Adam did a wonderful job. Way to go! We're making a stop in the cute little town of Minturn. 1, to just take a break from the driving and decompress a bit, and 2, to get some tacos.
We're at Rocky Mountain Taco, and they have a bunch of different fun taco fillings, and we got a wide variety. One of the ones I'm most excited for is the alambre, which is steak grilled with a bunch of onions, peppers, bacon, and chorizo. There's like a crispy cheese bed under there. Oh my gosh, So much flavor in there.
And this is the hippie crack, which is grilled red potatoes with some peppers and onions and guac and crema and cheese. I don't know if I've ever had a potato taco before, but I am a big fan. It is just so creamy. It's just like eating French fries with sauce wrapped in a tortilla. How do you go wrong?
Our little break gave some time for the roads to clear up a bit, and things are looking much better. And that's one good thing about road tripping in a state that gets a true winter, is they work really hard to get the roads clear. So it should be smooth sailing from here. We made it.
We're staying at the KOA here in Steamboat Springs, and to be honest, we're not a huge fan of KOAs or RV parks in general. They offer little to no privacy and they're often very expensive. We're spending $85 a night to stay here, but it was one of the only options we could find in the area, open in the winter, and it does have some amenities like showers and laundry that we will be taking advantage of, so it's not all bad.
And a big reason why we wanted to get to Steamboat Springs today, besides losing a bunch of money on this campsite, is that they have their winter carnival going on right now, and tonight we're gonna go into town to check it out.
The Steamboat Springs Winter Carnival has been going on for 112 years. You have to get one of these $15 buttons to attend, and there are a bunch of different events, and tonight is the night Extravaganza with lit up skiers and fireworks.
The event hasn't even started yet. They're still warming up, but it's like straight up X Games out here. It is so impressive.
To the 112th annual Steamboat Springs Winter Carnival! It's the night Extravaganza!
Wild, so much to look at, so many crazy high speed like tricks and jumps going on. The fireworks show was amazing. That was wild, never seen anything like that.
We are back in town this morning to check out more of the Winter Carnival, but first we're grabbing some coffee and some treats at Beard and Braid, and just staying in here to be warm before we go stand outside for hours because it is in the teens this morning. And I think I felt some of my nose hairs freezing out there.
This looks so fun.
I am so glad the timing worked out to come to this carnival. It was so much fun to experience part of the local culture here, and it was definitely one of the highlights of this winter trip so far. But it is so cold out. I'm freezing right now. I can barely move my mouth. So I think it's time that we just go warm up for the rest of the day.
Our heater's broken again.
And this is an even worse night to have it happen because it's in the negatives outside.
After surviving the night in even more frigid temperatures than the last time our heater broke, we ended up leaving Steamboat Springs earlier than planned and driving 3 hours to Boulder, Colorado, where we got a hotel for a few nights to wait out a frigid couple of days and get the heater looked at. If you've been following along on this road trip, our heater broke 2 weeks before this and it had been working great ever since, so it really threw us for a loop when it stopped working again. And of course, as soon as we get to Boulder, it starts working great. And so we took it to Boulder Camper Vans, who very kindly squeezed us in. They told us that it was either the diesel gelling or that the heater was super dirty. And so since the heater is working now, we bought an electric heater as a backup, and I'm just gonna clean the heater when we get back to Texas. Not gonna lie, we were so defeated after this. We had to cancel quite a few things that we were pretty excited about, but we have a few more days here in Colorado, and we're determined to end on a high note.
Well, we can't get water to come out of our faucet, so somewhere along the way, the water's frozen in the pipes. It's not the entire pipe, but I think I know that it's maybe around the pump here, so I'm currently blow drying to see if it helps. We've also had these water pumps freeze multiple times. Let's see if it works. Now we can go have some fun and more coffee.
One of my Colorado winter bucket list items was to go ice skating on a frozen lake. So this morning we came to Evergreen Lake, which is the largest Zambonied ice skating rink in the entire US. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
It starts you off quick.
Thank you so much.
Come on, Grandma.
I haven't ice skated in probably 8 years, and I've always been really horrible at it. And normally my strategy is just hold onto the wall the whole time. Ah! But there are no walls here. So I got this little helper device that looks like a high chair or a walker. It's so embarrassing. Wow, I feel like I'm flying.
You're going pretty quick.
This is so fun. Granny's going wild.
I've only ever skated like on an ice rink, you know, in like an arena, and the ice is much smoother. This is like got some bumps to it. And what's neat about coming out to this lake is it's not just ice skating, but you can also play hockey. There's some people ice fishing out further into the lake. If we lived somewhere where there was a consistent frozen lake like this, I would totally get into playing hockey. That looks like so much fun.
All right, I'm gonna try my first steps without the helper.
Like a natural.
Woo!
You made it.
I still like the helper a lot though, because it just makes me feel much more secure. I can go fast, it's more fun. Our health insurance is pretty awful, so the last thing I want is to injure myself out here.
All right, we survived. No one got hurt.
Yes, victory. That was way more fun than I thought it would be. I loved it. So we had more that we had hoped to do in Colorado, but we could not catch a break with the weather. Over the last week, we experienced multiple snowstorms, and I spent hours upon hours studying road conditions, weather forecasts, maps, and coming up with a plan A, B, C, D, and E, all of which were unable to happen. It was very, very mentally draining, so yesterday we decided to leave Colorado a bit early and head south to near Santa Fe, New Mexico, where the weather looks quite a bit better, to finish off this road trip and hopefully knock out a couple more activities we wanted to do. And this morning our plan is to hike to Nambe Lake.
Snow's getting quite a bit deeper here, getting down to like mid-shin. So it's time to break out the snowshoes. Our trip is almost over and we're finally using them for the first time.
They've been taking up so much space in the van for 3 weeks, so we just kept saying, please let us use them once, so we feel like it was worth it to bring them on this road trip. It's been so long since we've used these.
Yeah, years.
Can you help me back up?
Yeah.
This snow is so deep.
I'm not even sure if this is the right way. It is on all trails. The trail goes that way, but there was some ski tracks going up the hill and that was it. No footsteps or anything. And once we got around this tree right here, it just got so deep. Even with the snowshoes, you would just like fall straight through, like up to your mid-thigh pretty much. And just trying to go up that, you're like going like this every step and then falling straight through. And there's just no way to go that way.
There are some tracks this way, but we followed them and they also end. So we have no idea where the correct way is. We ended up finding a slightly more matted down section next to the ski tracks. Whoa. I had read that the last mile was a little harder to find the trail, and they were not kidding. It did snow a tiny bit yesterday, so I feel like it covered up any tracks that could help us.
I tripped and fell. I am completely just about buried. I can't get up. Oh no. Well, we've had a hard decision to make and I think we're gonna turn around. We've been out here over 2 hours already and we still have another mile to go. And this is the steepest part of the trail, the steepest and longest stretch of steepness. And it's gonna be like this the rest of the way. We were hoping that the trail, you know, would kind of re-emerge, but it's not. We're having to like break the trail through this thick snow and it's just gonna take a long time and a lot of effort and I don't think we're up for it.
Pretty much nothing has gone as planned the last week and a half. It's almost becoming funny at this point, but hey, at least we finally got to use our snowshoes.
We couldn't think of a better way to warm up after a snowy hike than a hot drink, so we came to Kakawa Chocolate House to try one of their drinking chocolate flights.
So we got 2 of their more standard chocolate flavors, and then we got 2 that have chili added in them. And we actually came here 5 years ago to try their chocolate-covered chili peppers, and I remember them being really good. And when you're in New Mexico, you just have to get chili everything, so we'll see how spicy they are. This one is just the plain chili one. Oh, I took such a big sip. It's actually pretty spicy. It helps cool off the mouth a bit. It's really good though, but I went way too hard on that. It was way spicier than I expected.
This one's the rose almond with chili in it, of course, too. That's pretty spicy. That's got some heat to it. You can definitely taste all the rose and the almond in there though. Am I breathing fire? It's pretty warm. We wanted something to warm us up, and these are definitely warming us up.
I'm gonna give it another shot. Let me try this one. I'll do small sips this time. Ooh, I like the rose almond one even better. I love the almond flavor in it. When you go small, it's not as bad. pace yourself.
Instead of gulping.
Yeah, instead of gulping it.
Most of this winter van life experience, we've camped at either state parks, private campgrounds, or in parking lots, but tonight we are going to attempt to boondock in a national forest, which is our favorite way to camp, and it feels like we have not done it in forever. We found a spot that has a recent review, so we're gonna hope that it's still accessible.
Feels good to be camping in the forest again.
Camping with RVs just feet away from you will really make you appreciate having your only neighbors be trees.
Since we're in New Mexico, we whipped up some green chili stew for dinner.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
And not too spicy.
No.
We've had enough spice today. This is not a Kona-friendly food. Too spicy for Konas. This morning we're at Valles Caldera National Preserve, which is home to a 14-mile wide caldera that formed during a volcanic eruption 1.2 million years ago. It is one of 3 supervolcanoes in the United States, along with Yellowstone in Wyoming and the Long Valley Caldera in California, both of which we have visited. So we have now been to all 3 and we have lived to tell the tale.
So we're at this overlook, and this caldera is absolutely massive. And we read that you can see some wildlife from here, but I've been looking through my binoculars for a few minutes now and I'm not seeing a whole lot. We might be a little too late in the morning, but still, it's so much fun to just like hop around and see what's so far away.
In the summer, you can get a permit to drive the backcountry roads in the park, but in the winter, it's quite a bit more limited here. The only area you can really explore is the cabin district, which is home to a handful of historic cabins.
Besides this area's geothermal activity, it has also played a big role in cattle ranching, sheep grazing, and sulfur mining. And starting in 1860, 4 different families owned land here, building the variety of cabins that are still standing today.
Besides the cabins in the cabin district, there is another cabin here called the Missing Cabin. But unlike the others, this cabin wasn't lived in or used for ranching. It was actually built for the 2003 movie The Missing. And I gotta say, they did an amazing job making it look old. I would never guess that this was built in the 2000s. And I can totally see why they decided to set a movie here. This area is just so idyllic. Valles Caldera is located along Highway 4 on the Jemez Mountain Trail Scenic Byway, a beautiful drive that goes past forests, cliffs, canyons, red rocks, and unique rock formations, like Battleship Rock, which is 200 feet tall and was formed over 5 million years ago from volcanic eruptions. And our plan over the next 24 hours is to explore more of this area, and I am already so glad we chose to come out here. It is so gorgeous, and being here in the off-season, it just seems so quiet and peaceful.
Because of the nearby volcanic activity, this area is known for its hot springs, and there's one right off the road that you can view called the Soda Dam. This is a 7,000-year-old formation that is surrounded by 15 springs which reach up to 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of these springs, it has a buildup of mineral deposits which has created a natural dam that blocks the Jemez River. You can definitely tell there's some kind of geothermal activity going on here. It's stinky.
This is so freaking cool. There's a waterfall pouring out of the dam.
Tonight we're staying at the Vista Linda campground, which does cost $10 per night, but it is right on the Jemez River, and I hear that it's got some really good fishing right now. So we're gonna get after it and hopefully catch some trout. You might also notice my spiffy new outfit. I just got these waders and boots for Christmas, and I was hoping to use them on this trip the whole past month, but haven't had a chance to do it, and I finally got a chance, and I don't even really know if I'll need them for this specific river and situation, but I just wanted to wear them so bad. So.
You look so cool, you look official now.
I look official now, at least I look the part. He's jumping.
Yes!
Woohoo, we got one! Got another one! I think I caught 7 fish today, which is my new personal best.
Way to go!
Yeah, what a day. Lucky waders. This is my new toy I got. No more of that darn wet wood's gonna stop me. I wish I would have bought this torch attachment a long time ago. That made it too easy. This thing's amazing.
And now for the best part of camping and campfires, s'mores. With Reese's, of course, because just way better with Reese's. We have one final activity that we're hoping to do on this winter road trip, and that is check out hot springs. There are a handful of hot springs to soak in the area, ranging from warm to hot, and our goal is to go to the San Antonio hot springs because we hear it is the best one, but we're not totally sure if the road is open. Normally the road is closed this time of year, but we had heard that it might still be open, so we're gonna go check it out.
Moment of truth.
It's
Open!
Is it really?
It's open.
Oh, it looked closed. So the hike to the hot spring is only around 1.5 miles round trip, but if the road had been closed, it would have been around 11 to 12 miles round trip, and we just would not have had enough time for that. So I am so happy right now. Woohoo!
A little bumpy though. We made it. This looks amazing. It looks so steamy and hot. This is a big pool. This is the biggest hot spring I think we've ever been to. There are multiple, at least 3, 4, or 5 pools right here that are all pretty deep. Oh, and the water is so clear too. Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
All right, let's get in.
Yeah, my lips
so
are,
cold.
my face is so frozen.
Oh, that feels so good. Oh yeah, my feet are burning.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is amazing. Oh man, you're gonna have to like pull me away from this. This is so amazing. Oh man, I just can't stop smiling. After all the stress of this winter trip, this is like the perfect ending. Oh, it just feels so amazing.
We finally get to relax.
Yeah, it's so relaxing.
We were supposed to go to some super popular hot springs in Steamboat, but when our heater stopped working, we had to cancel it. And man, I am so glad that happened because this is 100 times better. Not only is this one free, but there is no one else here. And I'm pretty sure we say this at every hot spring we go to, but this is easily the best hot spring we have ever been to. One thing that surprised us about those hot springs is that there was very little trash. For some reason, people love to trash hot springs, and we've been to some where we've carried out 2 full bags of trash. But some locals eventually did show up to the hot spring, and they told us that it can get pretty trashed up there. So if you do visit here or any hot spring or really anywhere outside, please pack out what you pack in, and for brownie points, bring a trash bag and pick up any trash you see. Also, Adam just pointed out that my hair has turned into an icicle. There is ice dripping off of it and it's so crunchy. That has never happened to me before. I don't even think that happened in Finland.
All right, winter van life. We did it.
Woo! We survived!
It was definitely our least smooth trip, but we wanted a challenge and we got one.
I think one of the most challenging parts about this road trip were just how many factors we had to think about. In regular van life, there are already a lot of factors, but then throw in the winter with hazardous roads and potential winter storms, and it just makes it so much harder. You just have to be really, really flexible, which is fine. We like that, we're used to that, but it's hard to be flexible when there are less campgrounds to choose from, there's less water fill-ups, there's just a lot of the things we're used to are closed.
And speaking of campgrounds, we paid for a campsite almost every night, so it got pretty dang expensive.
And it wasn't like the kind of camping we love, which is the free camping out in the forest with less people around. It was often like people right next to us, so we were spending a lot of money for our least ideal type of camping.
Also, our van was a complete mess pretty much the entire time. It was so unorganized. We brought a lot of extra winter stuff like jackets or snowshoes, just more clothes in general. So like we would have stuff when we're driving like back here on the bed piled up, and then when we get to our campsite, move it up to the front, and then when we needed to leave in the morning, we had to bring it all back here. So it was just a huge game of shuffle and reorganizing. It was a lot.
And then probably the biggest challenge was just the constant worry about the van and things breaking.
Me especially.
And things did break. Our heater stopped working twice, our water pumps froze multiple times, and every day we were just like, what's it gonna be today? Like it was just, we were just constantly worried. Even when things weren't going wrong, we were just waiting for something to go wrong, and that part just got so exhausting. But there were a lot of things we did love about winter van life. Probably the biggest one being just the scenery. The scenery was so beautiful. Seeing the mountains, especially in Colorado, just covered in snow and like the snow-lined Main Street and Steamboat. It was just magical.
And it also just made you feel like a kid again. Seeing all the snow and being able to go out and play in it and make snowmen and throw snowballs. And
we made 0 snowmen, but theoretically, if we had made one, it would have been a lot of fun.
We could if we wanted to. There was plenty of snow, but it was just a ton of fun to be able to be out in it. And Kona especially loved the snow. Anytime she'd be able to see even just a small little patch of snow, she'd just go over and start digging in it, eating it, rolling in it. You love the snow.
It was just hard not to smile. Even if we were cold, we were just so happy to see the snow. And overall, it was just fun to experience something different and do activities we normally don't get to do, like ice skating on an actual frozen lake and going into Steamboat and seeing their winter carnival. We've never seen anything like that. So it was just full of so many new experiences that we don't often get to have.
So the big question is, would we do winter van life? Would we do winter van life again? I don't know.
If you had asked me 2 weeks ago when things were going a bit smoother, I would have said heck yes. We were already like, next time we're going to Yellowstone, and like thinking of all these, like, let's go somewhere more extreme. And then the heater broke again.
The 2 times the winter, or 2 times the heater broke, no way.
Yeah.
Never again in the winter.
Yeah. I think we've learned we love winter travel, but maybe not so much in the van.
Specifically in the van.
I think like
yeah.
renting a car and then getting some warm cabins might be more of our vibe. Never say never though. I think we will do it again someday, and I think now that we've done it and we know more about what to expect and what can go wrong, I think we'll be better prepared. We've learned a lot, and it would go smoother. At least we'd be maybe in a better mental headspace.
Yeah.
Knowing.
We would just know, you know, the cons. And
Yeah.
just know what to prepare for, so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's time that we head somewhere a bit warmer for a bit.
That's much better.
Say bye for a few videos. You're not gonna see me for a little
Alright
bit.
guys, I'll be back soon, don't worry.